It could finally be time for Travis Kalanick to take a break. Uber's board was considering a 3-month leave of absence for Mr. Kalanick, the company's chief executive, according to people with knowledge of the board's agenda. The ride-hailing services directors also unanimously voted to adopt all the recommendations made in a report by the former Attorney General Eric H. Holder Jr., who led an investigation into the company's culture. These recommendations include the departure of Emil Michael, senior vice president of business and a close confidant of Mr. Kalanick's. Uber's chief executive had already proposed taking time off after a boating accident that killed his mother and sent his father to hospital. But the move to lessen Mr. Kalanick's involvement and strip him of an ally could also mark a repudiation of the aggressive culture that he has fostered at Uber. "This starts at the very top," said Micah Alpern, a principal at A.T. Kearney, a management and consulting firm. "They need to start from scratch to create a new culture entirely." Uber has been roiled by concerns over sexual harassment and workplace culture, the mishandling of the medical records of a woman raped by an Uber driver in India, investigations into the tools it used to evade law enforcement, and a lawsuit over intellectual property. Mr. Kalanick's position has been secure, however, because he and a few allies hold the majority of super voting shares on the board. Related, Uber faces a dilemma in Egypt, a country of 92 million with low rates of car ownership that could become a prize market for the company. The Egyptian government wants access to Heaven, the internal software that tracks every Uber ride and could be a powerful tool for the country's security services. The only thing that's certain after the election in Britain last week is more uncertainty. The Conservatives lost their governing majority, weakening their hand just as they move toward negotiations to leave the European Union. The pound was looking steadier on Monday morning after a steep plunge after exit polls were released. But the weaker pound has already pushed up costs for consumers, raising questions about whether consumption, a main driver of economic activity, can keep the economy going. Financial services are already planning to move jobs out of the country, and investment is expected to slow. In light of this, as well as poor business confidence, business groups have been pushing for the government to strike a deal